RiDGiD, this is your old pal McJuggerNuggets here. Welcome to the very first Q&A. And for those of you guys who live under a rock, like Patrick Starr, that means question and answer. Now let's get to the very first question on everybody's mind and why you clicked on the frickin' video. Are the psycho videos real? Are the psycho videos fake? And so you guys don't have to scroll through the video to find out, the videos are real. This has not ever been a question. For those of you guys who watch my other content, you guys watch my vlogs, you guys know the in-betweens and follow me on Twitter, tune into the stream, it's no doubt that these videos are real. This is shit I have to deal with, and there's a lot of questions surrounding that, so let me tackle as many as I can to make you guys happy. Because for a while I've been avoiding as many questions as possible about these events because, quite frankly, I don't want to have to think about them constantly because it sucks. So, you know what, I decided to just remove the curtain and tell you guys these videos are real, this is my life, and it's time to come clean and answer any questions you guys have about my personal life. So question 1, are the psycho videos real? Yes. Question number 2, have things always been this bad with your family? No, actually. For a period of time, especially when I was in school, my family would actually help out with videos. If you go farther back in my channel, you can see my dad, my mom, my brother actually playing characters in certain skits and videos. However, it wasn't until I graduated from college where the pressure became more intense and I still can't find a job and just haven't really been looking because I love YouTube and YouTube is my job. And it's just been more complicated since that time because my dad keeps saying you gotta get a job. He doesn't understand the YouTube Twitch business. But yes, it wasn't always like this. We once all got along. Stick around to the end of the video if you're still interested in the reality of the psycho videos. Let's do a quick little lightning speed round. These are all questions about me. How old am I? I am 22 years old. Where do I live? I live in southern New Jersey, and that's like the deep south. Like, we got cows, it explains my obsession. We got fields, open spaces. There's nothing going on here, hence why I don't have a job in film. There's nothing. And no, I don't live by the coast where you got those stereotypical Jersey Shore fist bumpers. That show killed New Jersey. It's not like that, guys. I did graduate college. I'm out of school. I went to Rowan University and got my degree in radio, TV, and film, which is a complete joke. And you can see a video here where I shirt up my degree in many different ways. Yes, I do put gel in my hair. You think it stays like that itself? Or do the old... I am 5'5½", almost a bona fide midget, and I weigh 138 pounds. So I'm a scrawny little punk. I primarily film these days with a Canon EOS 70D, and I'll do almost all of my editing on Final Cut Pro. I use an extreme early version, 6, I use 6, which that's really old because 10's out, maybe even 11. I also use 7 because 7 and 6 aren't too far off. McJuggerNuggets? How did you come up with that name? Where did it come from? And what is wrong with you? Well, if you guys want to know the story behind that, I actually made a video about it, and that's called The Origin of McJuggerNuggets. Watch that here. Let's just say it has to do with stuff coming out of my butthole. And McDonald's. I do somehow have a girlfriend, and yes, I am not a virgin. Back to the psycho videos. What do my parents do for a living? My mom works at a canvas shop, and my dad is a landscaper. My brother is actually an accountant, and that's why he doesn't get that much shit in the videos. He actually has a real life job, and that's why I think there's some favoritism going on. A lot of these videos happen because my dad doesn't approve of my gaming. He doesn't understand YouTube. He also has some anger issues. So does my brother. And he just loves instigating. I'm talking about my brother here, and he's always got a camera on. He once shared a passion to do YouTube. He used to have a channel, doesn't have anymore, and no, Jeffrey does not have any social media accounts. I know he's a frickin' loser. Next question. Who do you hate more, your brother or your father? This question is an easy one. I have to go with my father because he's destroyed more of my possessions. And honestly, he's more irrational. I can understand the whole brotherly love dynamic where my brother just has to, you know, torture me, make fun of me, and I do the same to him. But when my dad, you know, oversteps his bounds and acts insane, that's who I start to hate more. Granted, I still do love him, but his methods are, they're fucking psychotic. Another extremely popular question, are you gonna move out of your house? What's going on, Jess? How do you still live there? And the answer is, I would love to move out of my house. I just don't have the money for it. You see, I went to college, I had to take out loans, I owe like $70,000. And you're hit with that months after you graduate. So I have to pay that back on top of buying back possessions that my father breaks and YouTube doesn't pay the best. Neither does Twitch. On top of just living expenses, it is very pricey. Honestly though, when will it happen? If I can keep up saving, I will have enough money to move out of this house by early 2016. Does gaming affect your social representation? Why or why not? I love this question because every gamer gets a bad rap. It is true. I mean, us gamers look up to other gamers, but those who are not gamers think gamers are frickin' losers. I mean, you can already tell my family has a very negative idea of me just because I'm a gamer. They think I'm just a slob who just sits in my room and plays video games, which is half true, but I'm also very productive making videos, interacting with people in the stream, and it is work if you make it so. Not only that, but I find time to exercise, hang out with my friends, and do other things besides gaming. And honestly, a lot of successful, pretty cool people play video games. But yes, it is a shame that gamers get such a bad rap, and it's just looked down upon. But honestly, as time has gone on, gaming has become more and more accepted, and I'm excited to see where it looks, or what it looks like in, say, 10 years to come. Especially with not only from an entertainment standpoint, but also a technological standpoint, and even a competitive standpoint. It's even finding its way into more schools and colleges where they actually have designated professional teams that will play for a certain school. So maybe where it was once all about, you know, who can give each other the best traumatic brain injury in football, and maybe who can get the best headshot blowing the brains on the wall in your favorite competitive first-person shooter. They even have JV and varsity. Honestly, I look up to a lot of YouTubers. My ultimate favorite though, and I always say this in the stream, is Raka Raka. They're these two Australian twins, and they put together some of the most crazy pieces of work. Like, they are like destroying things, they're like smashing through garages, and the special effects and just the cinematography is so intense. Gotta check these guys out. I'll put a link down in the description below. They're incredible. Much respect just because of the sheer amount of work they put into each video, and they don't run any ads. And truly, truly respectable. How did you get so big? In the grand scheme of YouTube, I'm not that big. I'm definitely working my way up the ladder, so to speak, but honestly, I owe it all to my shitty home life. And it comes to also how I perceive things and just how I handle things. Like, I'm dealing with a shitty home situation, but I've managed to make the best of it. And it's almost like, it's just taking advantage of shit that comes your way, turning that shit into lemonade. I owe it a lot to my dad breaking my stuff, and although it frickin' sucks, when my brother uploads these videos to my channel, they get views. And although I look like a stupid idiot, and yes, I overreact sometimes, I'll keep it up there. At the end of the day, it spreads awareness to my situation, it helps me get out of my situation, and also it brightens your guys' days in the process. Somebody legitimately asked me this question: Jesse, do you have mental issues? You know, the normal person would be offended, but I find that kind of funny. Honestly, I have a therapist, and I think everyone should have one. They're just nice to talk to when you're going through stuff. And I do take some medications, mainly for depression, because I do deal with bipolar affective disorder. I just have bipolar tendencies, and I've had these growing up. So sometimes I do lash out, and sometimes I may seem like two different people. That is just something I've had to deal with, and honestly, I don't think it's that much of a limitation. What would you be doing if you weren't doing YouTube? And that is, that's a hard question to answer, because YouTube has really saved my life. I'd definitely still be on Twitch, assuming that's a thing. And I feel like I'd be trying to go pro in a video game, which is just absurd, but I feel like I would be trying it. If not, since there's no jobs around here, either I'd try to find a job in Philly, which isn't too far away, I'd go to New York, or I'd be crazy enough just to go out to LA and press my luck. Have you ever considered quitting YouTube? No, I've never thought about quitting, but I will say things have gotten difficult. You know, you do receive a lot of hate. There is a lot of pressure on you because there's just a lot of people wanting to get into contact with you, just asking for things, and you're just not able to give them what they want. It's just hard to please everybody, and there's a lot of pressure, and there's a lot of pressure from my family, and there's a lot of people that just don't understand what it is to be a YouTuber. So there's just so much anxiety, so much pressure that goes behind it. You gotta be checking your phone, checking the computer. You need to have internet access like 24/7 or you'll lose your mind. YouTube has definitely made me more neurotic and just paying attention to what people see and think about you, and it kind of sucks. But it's also just a very unique job, very rewarding, very fulfilling, and I love every second of it. So would I ever quit? Hell to the knees. I think that means hell no. Knees? Is that? Okay. How many dogs do you have and what are their names? I have 3 labs. One is a yellow lab named Ella or Boobs. Another one is a yellow lab. He technically looks brown or chocolate. It's always funny how they call it a chocolate lab. His name is John Locke, named after the Lost character, or the philosopher, but the Lost character. And he is also known as Poopy John. Then we just recently got a 3rd one, which is actually Poopy John's daughter. Her name is Luna, but I also call her Black Boobs sometimes. Who is my inspiration? Honestly, I don't really have one. Nobody in my life wants to do what I do or is pursuing it in any way, shape, or form. And I'm trying to make my own way, and my only inspiration would be others who have done YouTube and have tried to make something from it. As far as specific people, I don't really have many. I will say I've watched hundreds of YouTubers that have significant followings, and I've learned little bits and pieces from each and every one and have had some motivation spurts from them. Do you exercise and what is your diet? Yes, I exercise. I've done the Insanity program, which is like 40 to 60 minutes every single day, given 1 rest day, and it's just high impact interval training. It's super intense. Meanwhile, my diet consists of I'll have a yogurt and oatmeal with blueberries for breakfast, then lunchtime rolls around, I'll have grilled chicken salad. Occasionally I'll just have grilled chicken, broccoli, rice and beans. And then for dinner, I'll usually have a steak, some sliced up avocado, and some asparagus. As a snack, I'll be munching on some almonds, maybe a grapefruit here and there, and the popcorn, very occasionally now. I'll even be wild enough to scoop almond butter out of the jar. What is your favorite game and what is your favorite gaming console? My favorite game is Super Mario RPG, Legend of the 7 Stars for Super Nintendo. The game is phenomenal. My favorite multiplayer game of all time will have to be Halo 2, because I met a lot of my best friends, the friends that I am still friends with today, through that game. I also was extremely devoted to that shit, and that was my first online multiplayer experience, and I played it for years. So I just have a lot of nostalgia and good memories with that. As far as favorite console goes, it's a 3-way tie between Super Nintendo, Nintendo 64, and the Xbox 360. Reasoning behind those is Super Nintendo, that is how I started. And my favorite game clearly is for it, and there's just a lot of classics for it. Nintendo 64, that just blew my mind with Super Mario 64, GoldenEye, Diddy Kong Racing, like you name a game, there's just so many great games. Mario Party started there, and then Mario Kart was fun, that didn't start there, but awesomeness. Oh! And then Xbox 360, that just had an amazing lifespan with such a vast number of titles, and I still think the Xbox 360 controller is the epitome of perfection when it comes to button layouts, sticks, and just general size. What's the worst thing your father has destroyed? I'm torn because when he destroyed my car, my Mitsubishi Montero, that was the most expensive thing and most inconvenient thing I've ever lost. And I felt it was just so irrational. But that's tied with, he just recently destroyed my YouTube play button, which was a priceless award that I received for years of hard work on this platform, and I lost it for very stupid reasons. So those two were the worst, one because of money and another one because of love. This is the very last thing I will address, and it ties in perfectly with the whole point of this video, and the very first question is, are the psycho videos real? People still don't believe me even when I say it, even when they see it. They say, Jesse, can you give me proof? Prove that these are real. Normally, in any given situation, if somebody says or does something unbelievable, you do want proof. Pics, or it didn't happen. So you can know for sure. Well, guess what, guys? I have pictures. If you follow me on Instagram and Twitter, I will post pictures of things happening to me. Things that have been destroyed, which you can't really fake destruction. Also, the videos themselves are the proof. How can you prove these videos are real? What else can you do? The videos are the ironic proof. The only thing that would prove that they are real is if you watched it happen live. But then who's to say that that's real or not? I will say, if you watch of these things happen in real life, you would feel the reality of it. You would feel sick to your stomach. My mother and we've been driven to tears from these situations. You can definitely feel an awkward uncomfort or discomfort in this stuff. It sucks because I completely understand. There's a lot of fake content out there, and yes, even reality TV is scripted sometimes. So it's hard to know what to believe, but at the end of the day, if I'm telling you one thing, you just kind of have to believe it. And if you don't, I'm not going to stand here and beg for you to, because it just doesn't matter. But I just wanted to clear the air so you guys completely understand the situation. Alright, that's it. Questions are done. I'm sorry if I didn't get to answer your question or you're still left wondering. We're going to make this into a series and just pretty much leave any questions you have in the comments below. If I answered one of your questions or you feel a little more comfortable, give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more content. I don't want these videos running too long, so I'm trying to limit the amount of questions and also my answers, but I hope they suffice you guys. I would also ask that you guys follow me on Twitter. Make sure you check out the stream, twitch.tv/McJuggerNuggets. Stream 7 p.m. Eastern to midnight every Tuesday, Thursday. Also, please do not ask me any more questions on my social media. Just keep it all limited to this first Q&A video we have. That way we can kind of get a running thing, and maybe even I can feature your comments on the video themselves. I hope you enjoyed our first Q&A. I'm sorry if I was really dry and just straightforward, but honestly, this video, I just wanted to really give you solid, honest answers. And some of the future Q&As, we can have a different theme where it's more lighthearted and funny. But I wanted to keep it all tied to these psycho videos and just a general about me. So that's all I had to share with you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I love you all. Keep it rigid, Juggies.